Kaizen, a factory story.
Hello, people. Trying to deal with Twitch chat being totally unusable. It's all good. It's like 1 inch wide, and the web page is not responsive. Okay, there we go. Boop. Okay. Coffee maker. Okay. Coffee maker. Boom. Boom. Done. We're done. Look at that. Look how fast that was. So, this is the heat plate. And then we got to do these. Boop, boop, boop. Okay. This needs to get duplicated several times. And this needs to get duplicated several times. So we go bloop, bloop, bloop. Okay, I've got a new idea for the end. Here's my idea for the end. Let's just see if this works. I wanted to do this last night, and we just didn't have the opportunity. So if I want to move both of these and they're not attached. Oh, they're a little too far. They're a little too far. See, I was going to move them this way. Like, shoot. But they're a little too far. Oh, actually, though, if I could somehow get this on the track, maybe that would work. How was the trip around the West Coast? It was nice. Yeah, for sure. Did I ever figure out how to make the onigiri in 30 space? I haven't gone back to those earlier puzzles yet because in general, my philosophy with games like this is, you get to understand them better the more puzzles you do. And so, like super tweaky stuff like that may just be much easier, going back later. Okay, so let's not worry about this yet. So, okay, as always, like, so you kind of want, I mean, the naive thing to do, which we're going to run out of arms with this, is sort of the trick with this one. But, you can Pokemon these, right? Okay. The problem already. Like, also binding all these pieces together is going to be annoying, right? So you could Pokemon these. You could Pokemon these. This is not going to be a very good way to do it. But we're just going to do it. So we do that. Okay. And we could have like welder here. Okay. And we could have welder there. We don't like these welders, but we could have them. But then the big problem is going to be, this stuff. So we're actually going to need to Pokemon from at least back here. Actually, let's be safe and do it from back here. And then we're going to retract to non-grabbing. What do I think about the story in this game? Here's the thing. It seems to be written as filler. You know, and so it's just hard for me to care about it. Like there's like why do you read a story? It's cuz interesting things happen at a high density and you want to know what's going to happen and how things are going to go and whatever, right? And I mean, I don't know, man. You know? Let's do this here. That way we could have a binder here. Actually, we'll do it here. We'll put the riveter there. Although, maybe not. Here's the thing. I was actually, my plan, because you need to get these in the side and then bind them. So I was actually going to get them in and then push upwards. So we need room to push upward by 1, 2, 3. This is only 2. So we need, okay, wait. And that means this guy can't actually Pokemon, right? Yeah, he's not poking. So that's not great. Okay, we only need to go 2 if we're going to have a welder down here that'll weld this to these. Okay. And then we'll go up 2 to get this to this. And that will give us room to Pokemon like this. So let's just test that part. And then we'll track a up 2. Like that. Of course, it doesn't work yet because this isn't in there. Let's just say this got in there somehow. Right? So we do this. Those bind. Boom. Okay. Still not good because we need one of these on top. So that kind of ruins everything. Like Adam. Fucking Adam, dude. Unless... Okay, here's a trick that I've never done before. We can Pokemon with grab enabled on this, okay? Watch this. Oh no, poke automatically doesn't grab. Oh, that sucks. See, if we could hold on to the thing. You know, it's going to take long enough to get these pieces around that maybe it's fine. Like, how do we even do that? Okay, I feel like what we really want is a 3-stage system. I think we want one stage does whatever we're doing here. Instead of trying to push past it. One stage just makes these, okay? Once those are made, they get pushed, and then these guys... Okay, the problem with that is we're going to want welders on this side, or... No, okay. Okay. We'll have a push up for the middle stage. Okay, so we're going to have C's job is going to be to start up here, drag this down. Let's put it the right way. So C is going to track track 4, 6. All right. And then C's going to track plus 6. And then C is going to track 4. Okay. This is a little bit annoying. So A we're going to do the track 4 trick here. Okay, A after it's done Pokemoning is going to track 4. Oh, dang it, we can't do that. Because now it can't Pokemon because it's tracking 4. Bro. So annoying. Maybe this is fine. Maybe we don't need this space. Let's find out. All right. So we're gonna push 3. Okay. Now, B also. I mean, we did sort of realize we can have as many arms as we want, so we're just going to waste one right now. So at the same time, A pushes 3. Okay. That's unfortunate. Okay. So now you will note there's no room to weld these here. Ain't no room to weld these. But we could move them up arbitrarily far, actually, right? So this doesn't need to be there. Like, I mean, we'll just do it the dumb way, and then we'll figure it out. All right, so this is going to go down to here, and then it's going to track up enough that we can weld everything that we want, right? And so we need this line to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, because we can't block any of this. So okay. I mean, we don't really need that at the top, honestly. Except we do, oh, because this. I mean, screw it, right? So now my problem is we got to get that over. Oh, wait, this isn't bound yet. Oh my God, this is so slow. I mean, you know, let's go to 7 and just put another one. And then, so the problem here is I actually want this to go to the right from here. So we've got this full unit now. All right. Except let's not do this. Let's put this here. How low do we go here? So we have one more track spot. Honestly, all this could be one more over. Right? So if we go to here, see, if we only go to here, this can actually be a welder. All right. Now somebody else needs to get this going. But we're just going to spend extravagantly. You know? We'll figure it out in post. All right. It's a brilliant coffee maker. 285 area. 7 cycles, though. I mean, Tyler's coffee maker is 9 cycles. What the hell? Our first try was better cycles than him. Okay. Also, oh, well, no. I kind of want to figure out a way to simplify this. This welder could be up here, but I'm not sure I see the point in moving it. Okay, so when we lift this up, so we actually could have this go up 6 and schmoop these down slightly. Right? Oh no, because not this one. Ah. Oh no. Oh wait, yeah, we could. What do I? This track doesn't need to go up here. Obviously, that can't. Yeah. So that's fine. So you schmoop those down. Okay. All right, we saved on area slightly. It's still pretty big and expensive, if I'm being honest. So the part of the expensive, we could lower the cost. All right, let's do. I mean, do we want to try to get 6 cycles? So here's the thing. Let's just try to get 6 cycles. So if I do this, this obviously increases our footprint in a way we don't like, but it pre-melds that. So then this isn't necessary up here. Which actually means we don't need to go up as high. It's not a good trade-off because we pay an extra row, but I'm just thinking if I can get rid of some of these welders, then like, okay, if I just want 6 cycles and don't care about expense at all, I could have 2 more arms push these left at the same time that this is pushed right. Or at the same time this is pulled up, sorry. But we need oh, that can't work because we need to weld. The only way to weld these is horizontally. So by pulling this up, we can't. Unless, I mean, you could imagine me binding this onto this thing like way down at the bottom. Wouldn't that be funny? So here's the thing. C doesn't need to go down as far now. Because now that these are welded, it could go -1. Okay. And that means it goes 5. Right? Which means we sort of could have this. It's just The problem is it's not going to be able to go in the direction that it's going right now. Okay, except wait, we haven't schmooped these for the new schmoop. Oh no, we can't lift it high enough now. All right, you know what? All right, we're back to this. We are back to this. Now what? Now let us figure out the schmoop. Right. So we need to lift it all the way to the top of the track so that that arm is in range to pull. That is the thing. Now, to be quite honest, okay. What am I thinking here? I am thinking a lot of things. I'm thinking like B and D kind of don't do that much, right? Oh my god. That's one reason why our area was so it's still bad. Or maybe that's where that was, I don't know. All right. Now we're reasonable. Do we need those 3 welders next to B? Well, what do you think? What do you think will happen if I delete those welders? Okay. Poke, poke, poke. I mean, life's not easy. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so we've got this thing. And we can't push it sideways from here because it's in a bunch of pieces. It's in a bunch of Reese's pieces. It's in a bunch of Reese's pieces. Either even the right color, sort of. Kind of, not really. So here, this is the part gets me because this last pull, we could pull it up to this welder and have this be there. In fact, let's illustrate that fact. Oh, well, we can't do that with that. But if we didn't have to track right because we could also weld this, we would be done. But we can't weld this except with a horizontal thing that would stick out. So there has to be a motion of the ocean here. Okay, one thing I'm thinking to reduce area is this thing, we build out it 3 wide and then we have to dodge C anyway. Right? So we do that and then we push it. And we're even waiting to push it. We're not pushing it as soon as we can. So we might as well do that over here in this area that's being occupied, right? Um, oh, except we can't get it far enough from this side because of the C track. We can build it. Right? But once we get here, we need to move it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can't do that. I mean, not in a reasonable number of turns. I could replace this. Okay, watch this. This is only slightly cheaper. But I'm going to go D track 1. D track 1. And then go. So we've got one less arm. Same area, I guess. There's something I gotta go do in like 15 minutes, so we'll work on this a little bit more. We'll take a stream break and then we'll come back. Can push through C and then pull. Yeah, but we're trying to get faster. We don't. I mean, if we're trying to minimize area, then yes, we would do that. But I think if we're trying to minimize area, we really don't want to be wed to this whole design of going up this long tube, right? This series of tubes is for fastness. Now, speaking of fastness, this whole thing, we just need, okay, let's have one objective here. Okay, so like I... Hmm. I don't know, guys. I'm not figuring out a way to make this faster. So here's a this is conspicuous, right? D is like hanging out waiting. A beats D in terms of getting in there. Now, that kind of doesn't matter because also C is very slow to go where it's going. But actually, instead of C moving, you could imagine if we re-welded this, that A could go up, right? Or I mean, I'm just thinking about, so instead of doing the Pokemon with A there, we could do the same thing with A as we're doing with D, where A like slides horizontally, except this would get in the way, right? But, and it's a big but, if we had A sliding horizontally, we might be able to get C out of the way because this track, C would have to go off the top here. But let's imagine that it would be able to, because this track can get longer, and this would go somewhere else because we wouldn't be pushing it up here to weld, right? So like we get here, but imagine when we get to this point, okay, you know what I'm going to do? Even before I think about that, guys, here's what I'm going to do. We're going to try to speed this up right here. So we're going to go, C goes down. At the same time, C goes down. B is going to go down. The problem is we have to reach out to grab because of this. Ugh. Let's pretend that's not there. So this can be out, all right? So why is D extending? Oh, because I didn't change this yet. B. No, but this isn't what we want anyway. So at the same time as C, we're going to go B. Do those hit? Really? Oh no, it's fine. We're just going to leave C down there. All right. And then B is going to go down. All right. And then B will retract. All right. No, not Pokemon. P will retract without grab assing. And that lets us do this sooner. Look at that. And then that goes up. And now the problem is this does not weld. However, it will if we move this up. The problem is now, okay, so down here, right, we can take care of this weld with this. Sorry, we got to do the trick of putting it at the end. So then we come up here. The problem is such. I kind of wish I didn't need this welder here because I really want... Well, okay. I guess the thing is there's no limit to how high C can go here. But I don't think that helps us. Right. So now let's just put a Ronald Weasley. Whoops. Okay, so now we're taking the same amount of time, but look at this. This is like not that much is happening. You know? Also, let's go back to here. B could extend one more, right? Yeah. And what that means is that see, theoretically, we could have C pull this sideways one and do this weld. The problem is this would have to be under, but like maybe we make that happen somehow. Oh, but it's holding on to the bottom. This game's hard sometimes. Can you weld from the right after pushing up? I don't. Oh, you mean way up here? No, because. So the problem is. Okay, here's the thing. We might have to do something sneaky. So the problem is we need to push through this space. However, we could have welders in here and like simul push somehow, right? You know what I'm saying? Like if it's in two chunks, we could just push both the chunks. All right. The problem is we're using this to like get it out there. Push up from the bottom, C without grabbing. Yeah, that just takes too long is the problem. Although, maybe not. So, well, okay, that gets rid of this welder, but maybe that's fine. Because if we're... Yeah, so C... After this point, C is kind of chilling, right? So we could track C -1, grab off, C extend. Now we have some lifting power here. So here, the problem is this eats B by 1. Like if we put a welder here, right? Like we want a welder right here maybe. And we can't put it at the bottom anymore because we're using that. And we can't put a welder here because it's too high. But both of these are solved by this now. So here we do 2 welds. See that? Okay, but the point is, if we double push somehow, this weld could happen in here. Like we literally could do that or wherever there. And then A, like A almost could track up and do this. Almost, kind of. Not quite. So here's the thing. Instead of doing all this B to get this bottom thing, what if we let the buttons be the bottom and we just lift this higher, and then initially in the level, we grab this guy. Because like where this starts doesn't even matter. We could start it literally up here, actually. And then just track it to the right. Because so here we're just going to go. Maybe we'll run out of vertical space, but I don't think so. So C is going to go -6. B is going to go 1, 2, 3. All right. Wait, what happened there? Oh, C is still doing weird stuff, right? C is going to go -7. Okay. Do you see what I'm getting at? Now we can go 8. Okay. And now, actually, we need to go one more. But the point being, these weld spots would be different. And the whole thing about this trick is we're now able to do that down here. All right. So now this whole thing is welded. The problem is, oh, B didn't go. B needs to get his ass out of the way. Oh, and then this weld, dude. Oh no. I didn't think about that. What if we just... What if we just bring it into place up here? So now... Now all we need is something. All we need is a miracle. All we need... I mean, we're almost at 5 cycles, right? So we're almost 2 cycles better than we were. So maybe we should settle for 6, right? I don't know. Like we could even push this down with B if we had the space, but we don't have the space. Oops, we welded something together in the distant past. Oh man. Anyway, I gotta go do something. But you see what I'm getting at. We're getting close. The thread bound demo. I don't know. Does it have a lot of multi-threading? This just seems like a mess up here. I actually wonder if we went back to this two-arm scenario here. I wonder if we could actually do a weld down here by pushing it left because we have so much time. And then we could avoid one of the welds up top, right? I kind of want to go back to that, but also, like I said, we got to take a little break and come back in a little while. I have no idea what was the last working thing. There. All right. That was the last working thing that we had. Threadbound demo out now. Sure looks like an indie game. All right. We'll sign back on in a little while. See you later. Back soon.